Teaching Painless Poetry. Tips for Language Arts Teachers by Chris Jorgensen. Imagine a world where you have free reign of self-expression, a place where you could express your deepest desires, the things you love and hate, a recollection of a memory of the past, or your problems in the present, without fear of judgment from others. This idyllic place has no limits on what you express, and has no rigid rules for what you can or cannot do. This place exists in your mind, and is translated into existence through a lead pencil pressing against an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. Teachers often have a lot of problems when it's time to teach poetry. It's not an easy feat to get young students excited about abstract thought on paper. Here are a few tips you can use in the language arts class. Tip number 1. Make poetry relatable to the lives of your students. Introduce students to a range of poetry styles, like haiku, free verse, ballads, etc., and let them choose what to study from a list of different poems in each style. Emphasize to students to choose whatever poem resonates with them. Have the students pick a poem to study and present what they think it means and why they like it to their groups of 4. Encourage your students to be in charge of their learning whenever possible. Tip number 2. Teach literary devices in fun, meaningful ways. Don't have your students memorize the definitions of long lists of literary devices and expect them to understand them. Engage the senses and have fun. Assign each of your students a literary term. Assonance, consonance, foreshadowing, alliteration, irony, personification, and hyperbole are a few examples that you might use. On a white piece of paper, each student will design a poster. The poster will have the term and its definition. Also, students will draw a visual representation of the device, with a written example from a poem studied in class. Hang out the posters around the classroom as visual reminders. Students will rotate stations and read each other's posters. Tip number 3. Make poetry engaging with technology. Create a class wiki space with a different topic for each page. Have your students find and post any poem, with a short explanation on why they liked it, how it made them feel, and other images that come to mind when they read it. Have your students respond to one other student's post with a positive comment. Later in the term, have students post a short poem of their own creation on the wiki anonymously, and have others respond to it. Software such as Prezi might be a way to present the poem with a voice recording and pictures. Tip number 4. Make poetry engaging with rhythm. Give your students 3 pieces of small colored paper, along with a list of verbs with different syllable count that relate to movement. A few examples would be walk, tiptoe, transfer, relocate, and proceed. Have the students write the words on 3 different pieces of colored paper, based on the syllable count. Next, have them write a poem with the words, based on the rhythm that the teacher classed for them. Ta, 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 and ti, 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 ta. These patterns are also written on the board, and are marked for syllable stress. The colored paper will be a visual indicator of students who are having trouble. Next, have your class clap the rhythm with you, and the groups will take turns reading their poem aloud, one after another, without stopping the clap rhythm. I hope you found these tips useful. Try implementing them in the classroom tomorrow. Bye for now.